Hi Flosstube, welcome back. My name is Tina and I'm a 14 count Ada girl. If you too like 14 count Ada or just want to see what I'm up to on my 14 count Ada, stick around and you will find out. Okay, today I have 18 wows, which are what I call my whips of the week. Though this did not happen all in 1 week. As you know, I lost my stitchy bug. I haven't posted in a while. If you want to know all about the reasoning behind why I haven't posted, I put up a video explaining all of that. If you're not interested, you're just here to see the progress, then I got you right here. So we're going to show 18 of these today, and we're just going to dive right in because I am all by myself today. And it is going to take me probably a good hot minute. I will probably not have stitch count. Most of these will be probably just 100 anyway, because that is my average. I try to hit each one of them on average once a month for 100 stitches is what I've been trying to do. But lately it's not been going well. But I'm going to try to get back to that. I'm not promising. I'm not pressuring myself. If I get back to that, great. If I don't, I'm just going to keep rotating through them and doing what I can when I can, you know, depending on what I feel like. So that's where we are. Okay, so let's get this party started, shall we? We are starting out with what I like to call a pink rhapsody. It is actually called Blue Rhapsody, and it is by Rosewood Manor. And this one it looks like. And I am a breast cancer survivor, so I do wear a lot of pink, and I suddenly like a lot of pink. I was never ever a pink person, didn't like it, didn't wear it. And once you have breast cancer, I guess everything's pink, and you kind of just, you roll with it. And now I'm a pink girl. Who knew? So here I am on my pink rhapsody. I believe I just put in the letter D and those two little beginnings of, I think it's they're little flowers. And then there's a very large vine that's going to go down this way. I think I have said this before, but in case you are new, I'm probably going to go ahead and do this. I think I'm cutting this off. I just don't think it's necessary for this giant wide border thing. I'm not even sure that I'm going to do the numbers. Let me look at it. I'll probably do the numbers just because it is it's part of being a sampler. You do the alphabet, you do the numbers. So I'll probably go ahead and do the numbers. My initials and such that is normally down here, I will probably just squish them in somewhere. I might be able to squish them in like right here instead of doing these stars, or maybe I can just not do this one and just move my initials up here, and that's going to be my last row. I'm not going to do the rest of that. I didn't find it necessary, and I don't know. It wasn't my favorite design, and it didn't really, in my opinion, match. But that's just me. And mine is done in 2 shades of pink. And there you go. And those 2 shades of pink are, let's see, DMC number 962 and 3350, in case you are curious. Of course, that is a 14 count, as is everything that I stitch on. And that's just a plain white, nothing special about it. My friend Donna from Stitch Group, she's almost done with this. Go Donna, it looks really good. So can't wait to see it. Hope you're done by next week. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to be done by next week. Okay, so the next thing I have is Autumn on the Farm. And it looks like this. And it is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I jokingly laughed in my last video that I had started on the grass. And that the next video might just be more grass. Just more grass. So, yeah. It's just grass, y'all. It's just grass. Eventually we'll get to something, I'm sure. This one got started in the bottom. I am normally a top left starter, but the day I had bought this, I left my pattern. I went to cross stitch group, and I was there for I can't even remember. I don't remember if it was all day or just a couple hours. I can't remember. I was going to be there for a while. I think it was an all-day one. And I had taken one of my super large projects with me, and I was going to work on that, and I was going to do it the whole day. And I forgot my tablet. Tablet has a pattern on it. I only took the one project with me, so I didn't have anything to work on, and I was going to be there all day. So you're in a cross stitch store. What do? Go buy another cross stitch. So I went out and I searched around until I found Autumn on the Farm. I thought it was super cute, and I was thinking I could just start down here at the bottom. Only had to buy one skein, and so I bought the skein of 3011, which is the equivalent of Oscar, which is what is called for. I just did a Google search on what was the DMC equivalent, and that's how that got started at the bottom. Okay, so hopefully we see something new next time. Or more grass. Could be, could be. Okay, so we now have Holiday Quaker. Nope, that is not Holiday Quaker. This is Autumn by Cricket Collection. I guess I forgot to write that one down. Okay, so this is Autumn. And this one is getting close to done. I'm on the M. I do have all the other seasons as well, and I will start another one. I think I'm starting summer next because I do already have the Ada for it. I'm doing it on a lavender Ada. And I'm doing this on a, oh, my brain, not here today. Vintage Country Bokeh, which is the same thing that the, what is that, Fall, Autumn on the Farm is. It's on Vintage Country Bokeh as well. So here we have Autumn. And Autumn I started with my friend Jenny. And Jenny has since passed away. So I'm just going to carry on and go ahead and finish it. We chose the same color, and we were just about at the same spot. But that's what we have so far. Okay. It's Autumn. Sorry, I'm going to take a second to put these away. Like I said, I am by myself. And if I don't, I'll have a great big mess over there. There goes Aspen. There she goes. Okay, next we have Holiday Quaker by Leela Studios. And this is what Holiday Quaker looks like if you have not seen it. And it is by Leela Studio. You'll find I very seldom use the called for fabric. Of course, it's always 14 count. So, and like this one was stitched on a 40 count. Yeah, mine's a 14, so it's going to be ginormous, and it is so pretty already. And it was done by Dapple on Picture This Plus. I did not use Dapple. I used a gray because it looked kind of grayish to me. And this is the, I think this is the same one. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Never mind that thought. Okay, this is 14 count Aida in the color Pewter. And this is where I am currently. Make sure you can see it all. And so I just did this section down here. I do have a pretty good error in this, so I have to modify it. It was modify it, or I would have to frog that entire motif. So we're modifying it. I'm not frogging that and restitching it. It's too big. So we are going to modify it. Basically what happened was between here and here, there was supposed to be, I don't know, so many stitches, and I put a lot more. So there's too big of a gap there, which might make things in the middle need to shift too. So the way I'm overcoming that is what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the border first and get it all to line up and line everything up with this one, and then work on the center and kind of try to maneuver that all in between, and so it doesn't look like there's a giant error in it. So remember, you don't have to give up on it. Just change it. It's okay. Don't be afraid to change things. It's your art. You don't like the color, change it. You don't like that color floss, change it. You've been stitching on it and you're like, oh, this fabric, I don't like it. I don't like stitching on it. Change it. Life is too short, y'all, to not enjoy what you're doing. I have been in many projects. Well, I know at least 2 of them, which I have shown on this channel, that I have started and I did not like them. And that was because back then I didn't realize I'm a 14 count Aida girl. I've done a few projects on 16. Don't like it. I can. I just don't like it. I don't like the way the lip stitches lay. I don't know. It's not for me. I've tried the 22, the 25, the 28. Don't care for them. So I'm a 14 count Aida girl, and I'm okay with that. And you should be too if you're a 14 count Aida person as well. For whatever reason, does not matter. Okay, this next project, there's its photo. It's His Eye is on the Sparrow, and this is by Heartstring Samplery. There's a lot going on in that picture. But when you actually stitch it, it doesn't look that crowded. I guess they just have to put a lot into the small picture. This is done on a 14 count doubloon, which I believe was actually the call for this one. Not 14 count, of course. I think they wanted it on like a 40 or something crazy, you know. I was gonna see if I can see it real quick, but I'm not gonna go searching too hard for it. But anyhow, it's on a doubloon. And this is what I have done on it. This is where we are so far. I just started on this right here. And I just love this fabric. I'm actually using it on a couple projects. I bought a yard of it, and then like a week later, I ordered it again by accident because I didn't remember if I'd ordered it the week before. So now I had 2 yards of this, so it's okay. I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, so next one. We have I Am a Survivor. And I have shown this one many, many times. And if you need to know where to get this, you can check my Instagram. It's over there. If you don't have an Instagram, you can go send me a comment below. I will send you the information on it. Oh, sorry, zipper. I thought I had them all open. Okay, this is I Am a Survivor. And I was in a I believe a breast cancer group. I'm in a few of them on Facebook. And I believe somebody had shown this, and I went there and I bought the pattern. And of course I immediately started stitching it. And this is where I am now. We have almost half a butterfly. We have the I Am a Survivor. And this is full coverage at this point. So I do grid my own fabric. Right here, you can see all the grid lines. I'm gonna get my bob ease out of the way. So there's my grid lines, and this does wash right out. I have washed it out before. I've used this pen many, many times. And these are called Bob Ease, B-O-B-E-E-Z, and they are found on Amazon, and they just hold your parked threads if you do parking. I have done a video on gridding your Ada, and I have done a video on parking. So if you're interested in either of those subjects, there are 2 different videos you can see for those. So this is quite a newer project. I'm sure you've seen this everywhere, but it's got all these bright, beautiful colors, which I'm really, really loving. Reminds me a lot of things Tula Pink does, and she is a fabric designer, if you don't know who she is, and I just love the whole rainbow of color. It's just gorgeous. So this is a new start, sort of. It's, hasn't been very long. So that's what I have on it. Okay. What do we have? Next we have Beach Comber. I know a lot of people like this one. I had worked on, this one got 90 stitches, I can tell you that for sure. Because, well, each square is 90. I also had to take out a square that was like, this one maybe? It was this one or the one above it. As I was looking at it, I noticed it was this one. It was this one. It was this one here. If you look at one of my older videos, you'll see that this color was used here. And it wasn't supposed to be. So I had to undo, I believe it's this one, and put in its correct color so it matches the 4 diamonds. And so that was fun, but hey, I caught it. And that's what this looks like when it's done. And this is a Carolyn Manning design, in case you don't know. She does all the real pretty, neat designs that they remind me of kaleidoscopes. And that one's just in a bunch of pretty, pretty blues. And she makes them in all different colors, and the designs on them are all different. So if you like purples or greens and reds and pinks, she's got one for like every color, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and they are a full coverage. So don't fool yourself. Carolyn Manning is a full coverage. So if you've never done a full coverage, or you think you haven't ever done a full coverage, start with Carolyn Manning. They're not that hard. I mean, 90 stitches per square. Okay, so next project is Jack and Josie. Jack and Josie is, sorry, zipper, is also one of my newer starts. They kind of remind me a little bit of Raggedy Ann and Andy, if y'all know who that is. And the little scarecrows. And they're just so adorable. So basically what I got done was I start in the top left. So I started here and I went over here and down to his hat. So I have just started on his hat, and this is done on a 14 count Aida called Graceful Gray. And it was given to me by one of my viewers. So if you have 14 count Aida and you don't know what to do with it, I gladly take it. I will give it away on the channel if you like. I can keep it for myself, you know, whatever. I'm good with it. Okay, next project is, this is called Snow Owls at Winter Forest. It is a favorite. This is bought on Etsy, and it is by Fabric Arts Design, if you are looking for it. I bought about 4 different patterns from them, and this is the only one I've started, and it is awesome. Y'all, I got to his little head. Finally, we're out of some blue, and we got just a tiny bit of his little head. So we're gonna have an owl for long. So, here we go, right there. You see the brown? There we go, we're getting the top of his head. So then we'll go down here, finish this row, and then once we come back up, we will be getting a face for long. I'm so excited. And that's what it looks like all together. Not sure how many stitches that one got. I worked on it probably a couple times. More than likely. It is one of my favorites as well. I really love working on my full coverage. I would probably just work on them all the time if that was my choice. But alas, it is not. My choice is to, I mean, it's my choice, but I choose to rotate. So I want to get all the rest of these done too, and I only have about, I don't know, 400 or so waiting to be done. So, and that doesn't count future buys, because you know you're gonna buy cross stitch. You're gonna buy. Okay, this one is one I am almost finished with, and for those of you who are new here, I had to take a break off this because I just lost some dogs. They just aged out, basically. We'll say that. They were 13 and 10. So 2 of them were 10, 1 was 13. So this is called Pet All the Dogs, and this is by Teresa Kogut. And I just finished Pet All the Dogs. So now we just have this and these doggies here. And we have this banner here. However, I know my fabric is running a bit low. I may not have measured this correctly. I think I could get that in, but I don't think I'm gonna add it. I mean, if you look at it, I don't understand it. It's some triangles and some plus symbols. I mean, it's just like an extra border, and there's no other triangles or plus signs in the pattern. It seems like it was just put in there maybe as an afterthought of, oh, I should probably add something else to this. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna add that border. And I may have to stand up for this one. Okay. Here she is in all her glory. And this is my little Harley girl over here. That could be Harley, Sasha, or Niley. They were all Siberian Huskies, and I think all 3 of them had pink collars. And even Aspen here has pink collar, don't you, Aspen? Yeah. So that could be really any of them. If you are not a dog lover, say maybe you're a cat lover, Teresa Kogut has you covered. In the pattern, she also has an option to change these dogs to cats. It shows, you know, cats there instead, has an alternate page, and it says hug all the cats. So Teresa Kogut, she got you. I did that one on a 14 count, of course, Mystic Gray. That I got from 123 Stitch, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I did. Okay, next one we have is called Christmas Village, and is by Tiny Modernist. It was a mystery, 4-part mystery series at one point. I am on this first part. Right here. It is so super, super cute. And I am about right in here. I think I just started a tree. I think that's what I was doing. Yes, I just started a tree. So this is what the whole thing looks like all together. So the mystery, I think it was a cell. No, it's just a mystery series. The mystery series is all completely out now. So when you do go to buy this, you have to buy all 4 patterns, because that's how it comes. It's all 4. You can't just buy this one and have it all, because this one actually only has the last, yeah, this one is part 4. It just has this inside, so. And I have, like I said, I'm still in that first row. My daughter Courtney does my back stitch. She doesn't much care to actually cross stitch, but she loves the back stitch. She loves it. So she gets to do all my back stitch. Oh, let me take part of this out and keep you snap. And so I said, whoop, there's a needle in there. Why in the world did I leave a needle in there? And there's some floss on there. Let me put that right here for now over in the margin, so I don't forget to put that away later. So this is what I have so far. This is our little boy. He's up on the ladder hanging the ornaments. And then our little girl over there. And I have everything done up into the tree. There will be 3 trees here, a sign that says tree farm, and then some bunnies up underneath that. And then we will carry on. And they are just so stinking adorable. I just love them to death. This is just on a blue Ada. I'm pretty sure it didn't have a name. Oh, this one I'm pretty sure is the one I got off Amazon. I probably said it in a million videos. I just typed in blue Ada, literally 14 count blue Ada. And I took the first one that there was. That was it. We were in the RV when I started this. And I just had it shipped to a Amazon mailbox in the city we were at the time. And was able to go ahead and start that in Colorado. I was in Colorado at the time. I'm currently in Indiana. I live here in Indiana, in case you're new here. We used to travel in our RV full time. We still have the RV. We still plan to travel, just maybe not full time. Though we both do really miss it. Okay, the next 5 are really big ones, so I will be right back with those. Okay, so the next one, now that I'm all reorganized, is, I think these are all, yeah, full coverage from here out. So I'm pretty sure that's all the last of them are. And this is long dog samplers, and this is called 1 down 3 across. I have never done a long dog before, so this is my first one. And so I decided I would go with something a little easier than your average long dog, you know, not like Pandemic or what's that one, Onward and Upward or something like that. You know all the long dogs, they have a lot in them. So I decided to go with something a little bit simpler. So that's what I've decided. This is also done on that same blue as Christmas Village, the one I looked up, because I bought a big chunk of it. I think I might have bought a yard of it, which was great because I really enjoyed the color. And this is where I am on it. Let me see that I can get both of those in there. Oh, so there we are. I just finished the M and the box. So we have Magic and Mary. I think I'm gonna go to Magic and then do Santa's Sleigh and kind of try to do it just kind of like row by row. But we will see. I mean, things can change. You never know. So 14 count Ada blue, just off Amazon. That's all I can tell you on that one. But any blue would work, I'm sure. Okay, that's 1 down 3 across. Okay, the next one is a HADE. If you're unfamiliar with what a HADE is that's an acronym for Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a website where they have artists' paintings usually, or some type of their artwork, and it is licensed. They have permission from all of the artists because they're mostly still living, and they have permission from them. They do pay them, I'm sure, and they're a reputable company. You can go on there and you can order the PDF, or you can order a paper copy. I believe they even offer it done up in kits. So heavenandearthdesigns.com. And this is an artwork done by Amy Stewart. It is called A Stitching Shelf. It is not the best picture. I could not find a really good picture, and I got this on a PDF. So I'll talk about that too in a second. Yeah. No, I'm good with this one. Okay, sorry. So this is what it looks like. It's not the best picture, like I said, but it is basically, it looks like a library. But inside the library are all these ladies stitching. You can see them with their cues now, or with their hoops, and they're all stitching. And then if you look at it, it's kind of like a rainbow. And then if you look in closer, you'll realize that this is spring and summer. And you'll see all the fall leaves, see those? And then you got winter. You see all the snow. See how she did that? That is so cool. So I really like this one. I would work on this one all the time too, because I just really enjoy it. And it's gonna be humongous. I did get this in max size, max color. What was I thinking, right? But so far I'm really enjoying it. It does have, I think, 236 colors in it, if I remember correctly. Did I write it down on the back? I did not. Okay. So, like I said, it is artwork by Amy Stewart. I am doing this on a 14 count ivory. It is Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's called A Stitching Shelf. And you don't have to get it in the max size, max color, but they do offer that if you like that kind of thing. And this is my one and only Heaven and Earth design. Whether I'll ever do another one, I don't know, but I think I have enough of these really big projects, but I love them. So this is where I am. Look, y'all, look at those beautiful flowers. Spring has sprung on the Ada. And these are being held by the W.O.W again, which I buy on Amazon, B-O-B-E-E-Z. I don't know if they're offered in stores, or I saw it on another Flosstuber's channel. I can't recall whom. So I just go there and I order them as needed, and I wrap up all my floss that are going to be parked for the next square underneath. Of course, it's in my Q-snap. And being this is max size, max color, there is a ton of fabric in here, y'all. And it takes like 98% of this stuff. So I think it didn't leave me with a whole lot at the bottom, maybe 6 inches. So it's a big girl. She's a big girl. But she's very fun. I really enjoyed stitching on that one. Okay, this one is Little House Needleworks. This is called Kringles. And she's a big one too. Why this one is not done by now, I do not know. I have been working on this for 2 years or so. I guess it didn't hit the rotation early on, and I really love it. I really enjoy stitching on it. The Ada that this is stitched on is, I believe it's a Charles Craft from Walmart, in the color Sand. And I think I turned it the wrong direction too, but you know. I think that would have looked better if it was going that way, but you know, I don't guess it really matters that much. So I just did all this brick here, and so then I will fill that brick in, And then we move on to window number 3. So I do have about 42 projects or so going on. I'm not even sure of my count anymore. So I gotta just get back to it. Okay, this one I love working on too. Like I said, I love all these full coverages. I have a ball when I do these, because I don't know, you really don't have to think too much. You don't have to count too much. It's basically stitching that 100th spot, and move on to the next. And your floss are mostly already parked there, so you don't even have to go searching for a bunch of floss. So this is an artisty design called Peaceful Tranquility. And let's see where I'm at on this one. Okay, so I've got most of this tree done. I'm working in a diagonal on this one as well. And so I'm right about here. So I should be coming into this area soon. Or maybe even that tree. Let's see, I want to compare my little clouds. Let's see. Yeah, we got a little while before we hit that tree. Oh, but this is where we are so far, and this tree is coming along so pretty. I love it. Oh, I'm missing one of my bobbies. I must have taken it off and left it on the table downstairs. That must be where I was stitching. No, I would have stitched up here. I don't know. So that's where I am on it, and it more than likely got 100 stitches, because I tend to do this one 100 stitches at a time. But being I haven't been on here since May, it may have had more than 100 by now. But that's on a pre-gridded Aida, so if you don't like gridding your own Aida, you can find it pre-gridded. A lot of websites carry pre-gridded Aida. This one I bought off of AliExpress. So if you've never bought off of AliExpress, they are a very cheap website. They are out of China. I wouldn't recommend their cross-stitch kits per se. I did buy them in the beginning before I knew much about cross stitch. A lot of their artwork is stolen. And so if that doesn't bother you, go ahead and buy it and stitch it. If you'd rather that the artist or the company who actually made it get the money, then I would just buy it from the reputable person. So to each their own on that. They are very, very cheap. Their fabric, the fabric is a really good quality, at least the 14 count Aida is. And like I said, it has the gridded lines already in it. And I had this all wrapped up with my magnets. So, there we go. Peaceful Tranquility. The artwork is by Abraham Hunter, and that was bought on the artsy site. No, Everything Cross Stitch. Everything Cross Stitch. Swear I got that. I have since talked to the lady who runs Artisty, and asked her for a PDF of this, and she said if I had my receipt, she would send me the PDF. So I sent her the receipt, and I have the PDF now. The PDFs, that was what I was going to say when I was talking about a stitching show. When I came back from my quilt retreat, whatever day that was, like 2 weeks ago. I don't think it was even 2 weeks ago. But anyway, I took Peaceful Tranquility and and my owls. I took both of them to the quilting retreat, and I would quilt during the day, and then like the last 2-3 hours of the night, I would pull out my cross stitch and do a little cross stitching there. And I keep all my full coverage on an Android tablet, just a little cheapy one I bought off Amazon about a year ago. It was like 50 bucks, and I'm like, I only need it for this one program, so the only thing that's on that Android is Pattern Keeper. There is literally nothing else. I don't do Google searches on it, I don't play YouTube on it, nothing. It's strictly just for Pattern Keeper. Well, I came back from the retreat, and I went to stitch on the owls, I think. Well, it could have been any of them. One of my full coverages I went to stitch on. It won't turn on, y'all. Can't get it turned on at all. I know it's not the cord, because I have that cord in other devices. And I've taken their good cord and put it in that one. No, taken that cord that was in it, put it in the things that do work, and they work just fine. So I know it's not the cord. So I'm thinking it's either like the power button or maybe the battery. I think the batteries die on devices, don't they? Or a power supply. I don't know. But basically, I cannot do any full coverage because most of them are my PDFs. I do have like 2 that are actual, like this one. I mean, I could have worked on this one because I do have the paper version because I bought it. And I do have the paper version of Welcome Back to School, which I'll be showing in a second. But everything else was PDF form on the Android device. So I just broke down and bought another one. I did not buy the same one because if that one's already broken within a year, I'm like, no, let's buy something else. And there again, I don't need something with a lot of memory. I don't need something that costs thousands of dollars. I just need something to throw Pattern Keeper on. So I found one that had good reviews. That was my main thing. It had really good reviews. And I spent like $100. So still not bad for a device. And it arrived yesterday. And today is July 24th. It arrived yesterday, and so last night I spent most of my evening going to Etsy and re-downloading all the PDFs and any other website that I had bought a PDF from. So that's how I spent my night. And one of them, Peaceful Tranquility, it actually kept its progress. The rest of them did not, so I'm going to have to go in there and mark all of the progress that is done on them. So there's that. So I know what I'll be doing this evening. So now we have the Nativity, and this is done. This is by Addict to Cross Stitch. Not Addicted, but Addict. And they are on Etsy. This is a huge one as well, 700 by 520, 112 DMC colors, plus 4 blended colors. Well, it's 108 solids and 4 blended. And it's really, really dark. So I have bought a cone of 310 and a cone of 939. Basically anything that had tons of stitches in it. I bought cones of it, and I got them at 123 Stitch. So doesn't look like much, but there are 4 different colors in this. Of course, you've got your 310. So you got your 310 there. There's some 939 in there, and there's one gray one right here. I guess that's a star in the sky. And now we're getting into some blues, which I think was 939. And then again, I have gridded it, but either my pen is running low on ink or it's wearing off. Could be either one at this point. So I will need to go over that again. So that one more than likely got 100 stitches. It needs this one here and this one here, and then I get to start a new column. More than likely it's just gonna be more black. I don't think, well, I could be the angel wing. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see next round. It'll be a minute though. Okay, and last but not least, for the wows. This is a artwork by Bonnie White, and it is by Charting Creations, and it's called Welcome Back to School. And this is one of the first charts that I ever bought. I started stitching again back in 2020. I still had all my cross stitch supplies. I hadn't stitched since 2008. Probably 2008 was probably the last time I had stitched. And I had been diamond painting, and I had decided that that I was gonna give away all my cross stitch, y'all. I was just gonna give it away because I didn't do it anymore. I had hundreds of dollars worth of cross stitch in the closet. I just didn't do it anymore. And I went to give it to one of my friends, and I sent her a message and said, hey, I have all this cross stitch stuff. Are you interested in it? Because I knew she crocheted and she did other crafty little things. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't see the cross stitch anymore. And I said, oh, okay, I understand. So I was just wanting to give it a good home to somebody who would use it. And what ended up happening was I was like, so she can't see it. Why did I stop stitching? I could not remember. I know I was working on a lion, and he was in a dark, dark blue color, and the lion was dark blue himself. And I think it was the blue on blue tone that was making me have trouble seeing it. And therefore, I lost interest in it. It was a full coverage. I still have the pattern downstairs somewhere. I have since thrown away the cross stitch. So it would have to be redone if I do it again. If I do it again, I don't even know that I would do it on the dark navy blue. But I think that was maybe why I quit cross stitching. I know I started gaming a lot, and when I do a hobby, sometimes it's hard for me to split my time between more than one hobby. I usually just, dive right in, and I just want to do this for a while. And so I will diamond paint for a month, or I will cross stitch for a month, or I will start gaming again for a month, or now I'm into the quilting and the EPP. So I'm trying to spread it out. Maybe I need to make myself a schedule, like I'm at work or something, and 9 to noon I do this, and noon to 3 I do this, and 3 to 5 I do this. I'm a stay-at-home wife. Just got one little dog here, so I have all day to just sit here and craft and do whatever I want. So that's what I do. And, this is Welcome Back to School. Now this one doesn't look like much, But there's a whole lot done, y'all. There are 3 columns, and I did those columns. I haven't shown this one in a while, so I will unfurl it in all its glory. This is also one of those gridded Adas that I bought off AliExpress back in the day. Like I said, I started this one in 2020, so that's when I bought this Ada. It was before I knew about AliExpress, and they're out of China. China doesn't have copyright laws, and so they can basically copy Mickey Mouse and all of the things, and you know, they can do it. So this is where I am. And so I got the Ada from them. I don't mind buying their Ada. I've never had any trouble with their Ada, and the grids are great. I have tried to take some of these out just to see if they would be difficult to remove. They are not. You literally just clip one and you can just pull the whole line out. So once I get to a point where I can pull something out, I may show that on camera. But yeah, she's a big girl too. And like you can see, it took up the whole piece. This is, I think, 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters for the fabric size. On a 14 count, it will be 99 by 74 centimeters. I can pull that out and find out how many inches that is. But I do have this marked as my top left. And I believe down here somewhere, I actually calculated and put the bottom left on this one. I thought I did. Oh, look at this thing. It's a dang on bed sheet, y'all. And it's a good thing it's full coverage because it got dirty in the middle. I'm sure that'll come out, but it's just dirt. Probably dust. I thought it was over here. No, I can't find it. It might have been Peaceful Tranquility. Nope, there it is. Right there at the bottom. Like, this is supposed to be, I should have made that. Yeah, bottom, this is bottom right hand side. And it literally gave me about 2 inches left. So, this count could be off and it could be a little higher. But, yeah, she's a big one, and she's been being worked on since 2020. And there again, I would work on her all the time. But I have so many projects that I want to do and get done. And I do have a couple that are close. Pet All the Dogs being one of them. Liberty's Welcome is another one. And once those are done, of course, I will pick something else. I do have a small or 2 that are close to done, and I'm going to replace them with more smalls. That way I have a little victory every once in a while instead of just, oh, here's another one I've been working on for 4 years. Okay, I'm going to show y'all a little bit of haul. I haven't really been collecting my haul to save for y'all. Though I haven't really bought any cross stitch. I bought just a tiny bit. There again, I lost that stitchy bug, and even buying a new pattern didn't bring it back and make me go, ooh, I want to start this. It just, well, I did the Jack and Josie. I did start that thinking, oh, that will jumpstart me. It didn't, but I'm plugging along. I'm gonna keep doing it because I do love it. And I think once I get through all this, the season of life I'm going through with all my dogs passing away at once. We just got this little girl left. This is my baby. That's Aspen. And so once I get through this season of life and the depression, I'm sure I will get back to it. And like I said, I am also going to try to do my my EPP, my English paper piecing, and my quilting, now that I've started some quilting. And I will also say on this channel, I would like to get your opinion. If you didn't state it in the other video, I have a video on a Where Have I Been video. I think that's what I'm going to name it. I just recorded it. But if you didn't watch that, you don't have to. It just explains what's gone on with me for the last couple months and why I have been MIA. So the question I have is, if you didn't answer it over there, please answer it over here. Don't answer both places, because then I might be counting votes twice. Would you be interested in seeing more, I don't think I showed it yet, EPP, which is English paper piecing. This one will be a, what's it called? Grandmother's Flower Garden. I have about 7 of these currently made, and you hand sew all of this. And so English paper piecing is kind of like right up my alley, being I love to cross stitch, and it's hand sewing. So, you know, cross stitch is hand sewing. So it's right up my alley. But if you would be interested in seeing EPP on this channel, let me know down below. You can say yes EPP or no EPP. Also, the quilting that I have started doing. If you'd like to see the quilting with the cross stitch, say yes to quilting. So yes quilting, no quilting. Give me somewhere to go with this. Because if the majority says, no, I'm just here for the cross stitch, and that's fine. You can be here just for the cross stitch. If there's more people that don't want to see it, I can make another channel which just has the quilting and the English paper piecing on it. So that's not a big deal. So my battery is about to die, so I need to hurry here. So with all of that said, these are the things that I have bought in the last couple months. I'm not going to show you any of the quilting stuff because I have spent tons of money on quilting fabric out the wazoo and whatnots. But this is the Quilted Scarecrow, and this is designed by Lori Holt from Bee in My Bonnet. And I thought he was super, super cute. And if you're a quilter, she's quilting this. She has a quilt that she's doing the exact same one. This, of course, is a cross stitch. I think I'm going to cross stitch it. But I have seen her do like the first couple of things in quilting, and that's really, really cool. Lori Holt also has a lot of quilting videos. She's got really good advice on quilting. So if you're interested, that's what that is. That pattern is, I don't know when I'll start that, but he was just super cute, and I thought, well, maybe that would help me jump start into getting back into stitching. I haven't started it, so I don't know. When I went to the cross-stitch retreat, when I went to the quilting retreat, they have a table up there that you can put things for sale. So I bought some things off the table. I bought like rulers and fabrics and different things. And most of it I bought from Tammy Blaylock. She is my enabler. Love you, Tammy. These I also bought from Jamie. These are patterns. I believe she's done all these patterns, I believe she said, and that's why she was selling them. And so this is the first one. This is Heart and Hand, America, Land That I Love. I was thinking I might really start this one because I think I could do this in a weekend. And maybe that could bring back my stitchy bug a little bit more, because this looks like it'd be a really quick stitch. So we have that one. And then we have Heart and Hand, another Heart and Hand, and it's called Long May She Wave. Oh, it's called Old Glory, but it's by Heart and Hand. The other one was called America. And so there again, that one could be probably done in a weekend. It doesn't look like it's that many. It was done on a 32. Well, we know I ain't doing it on a 32. And it's 53 stitches wide by 43 stitches high. So yeah, that would take maybe 2 days. It depends on how much time you got in those days, I guess. So that there is another quick and easy one that I got from Tammy. And then I got this one. It is a Silver Creek Samplers. And it says, my love for you will never cease. You are my missing puzzle piece. And then you got a place to put your initials and the date. So probably your wedding date right there. And I just thought this was so pretty. Yeah, because that would be a wedding dress and like a suit or tuxedo. So yeah, okay, this would be more like for a wedding. But I'll probably make this for my husband and myself. And I just thought it was just really, really pretty. I love it. So there's that. Okay, and then there's this other one that is called Flag Day. This is for a quilt. And there again, I got it from Tammy Blaylock. I don't know if she ever actually did this one, and it comes with the template you need to cut out to make the shapes inside here, these little tumblers. So that's an option. I have like a list of like 5 quilts I want to start. Maybe a couple of them might have already been started a little bit. So yeah, I've jumped in the deep end on the quilting, y'all. Okay, so this one, I know I posted it on here. Can't remember how long ago I bought it though. Well, it says it was put out in March 7th of 24 on, I think that they put that on the store shelf is when they put that on the store shelf. Maybe that's the date for that. But this is by Praiseworthy Stitches, and it is called Sleigh Ride. And it does take some special floss, but I did not buy any of the Weeks Dye Works for it. I don't know. Let's see. It also took Classic Colorworks. I did not buy any of that. I am basically just going to use DMT equivalents for all of that. Let me look in here. Yeah, I don't see anything that is so highly variegated that I feel like I need to use one of the fancy floss. If it's not something that's highly variegated, I don't tend to get the fancy floss. So I was looking for this fabric, and it is called Nocturne from Picture This Plus. And it was done on a 32 count, which of course I'm gonna do mine on a 14. And I could not find the Nocturne. So what I ended up doing is I was looking around the internet, and I was like, okay, so I need a blue, something that's, you know, got different shades of blue maybe if I could find. And then I remembered, oh, Brandy from Stitch Me, she dyes fabric. So I went on her website. I used to get her Fabric of the Month Club. And I probably need to sign back up for that now that I'm back home, because I stopped because we went out in the RV. So I went on her website and I found a, oh, tell me it's got a tag on it. Oh, there it is. I found a color called Aquarius. Now it's a bit darker than this, but I think it'll actually work better because it makes it look more nighttime up in here. And I have not started it. I just put it in the Q-snap because, as you heard my story before, the blue lion, right? I want to make sure I can see these holes, y'all. Now, I know that I can shine a light under it or put a towel on my lap, but you can see the beautiful modeling that is in this. And Brandy, you know, she just knocks it out of the park every time. It is just so pretty. She did such a wonderful job. It did take her a while to get it to me, which no big deal for me. I was not in any kind of hurry. As you can see, I haven't even started it. But Brandy is so sweet. And she sent me some free silk floss for it taking so long. So thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it. I can't wait to try your floss. And see, there might be some blue, pink, and purple in here I can use it on. I bet there is. So they're very beautiful colors, and I'm excited to use them. This also did ask for some Krynic and some beads, which I had to go to 123 Stitch and order, but I do have it all now, so this is good to go. And I'm getting excited on that one too, so we'll see if I can hold my horses on that one. I wouldn't guarantee it. Okay, that is it for today. Man, we are up to 40 minutes, y'all. I would like to say that I appreciate every one of you for sticking around and hanging out with me. And I appreciate everybody who's reached out to me and commented on my posts or my channel and told me how much you miss me and you hope I'm doing well. It means so much to me, and I hope you're all doing well too. And I hope not to go MIA on you anymore. I mean, this is the first time I've ever done it, so like I said, hopefully this season of life is over for now. And thank you to all my new viewers. I appreciate all of you. If I did not say so, I also created a Facebook page. I can't remember if I said it on this or not. It's 14 Count Ada Girl. So if you don't have Instagram and you want to see these things before the video, just a quick picture of them, I will be putting them on 14 Count, it's just the same way, 14CT, Ada Girl, all one word, on her Flosstube. So I did make her a separate little Flosstube, because my Facebook. I made her own little Facebook. I just found out that you can do that. Thanks, Peter. So I made her that. For those of you who don't do Instagram or don't like Instagram, so there is that other option. I think that's everything. So I would also like to say the year is almost over. I say almost. You know, we are 7 months in, right? Okay, so we're 7 months in. If you have not yet done so, please, please go get your yearly mammogram. They are so important. You know, we have just lost Shannon Daughtery to breast cancer. She has been fighting breast cancer for many, many years. She had a difficult breast cancer, and it was called triple negative. She fought really, really hard for a long, long time. And she's at peace now. And I hope that none of my stitchy friends ever have to go through this. And if you do, you can always send me a text, send me an email. I will gladly talk to you. I can send you references of Facebook groups that are great to join. But it is very important to get that mammogram every year. Since I had breast cancer in 2021, I have been on a medication that is supposed to, kill the hormones that cancer feeds on and whatnot. They said I'll be on that for 5 to 10 years. This year is year 5. So I get a mammogram every January, and I get an MRI every August. The MRI I get done for myself, just as an extra guarantee that I can get something seen again. If I have to pay out of pocket for that, that's fine. I don't care. I don't want to go through that again. If I do, I want it caught early like it was before. So hopefully I don't have to deal with it again. But if I do, I'll be right on top of it. So please, if you know anyone going through breast cancer or you're going through it yourself, there are some wonderful, wonderful support groups on Facebook. Don't knock Facebook. There are wonderful Facebook groups. You can just look up breast cancer groups, and everybody on there are just wonderful. So until next time, bye-bye. Okay, now I'm going to show you the 2 pieces that I had framed. I had these done at Stitch and Frame in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And here is number 1, and I'm trying to keep the glare down as much as I can. But, I got a window right here, and of course I have lights up there. So this is what it looks like. Now I have modified this. I put my husband is a veteran, and I put his rank when he retired right here along with our name, and then the years that he was in right there, and then I put my initials down here. And then, of course, the year it was done in 2021. And I'm just now getting it framed here in 2024. I don't tend to FFO. I don't know why. I just want to be done. I'm done. If I'm done stitching, I'm done. So, this is 100 Owls. I know a lot of you have been watching me. I'm gonna bring my camera down a little bit. A lot of you have been watching me do this one over the years. And there are 100 owls in here. And this is on that Graceful Gray from 123 Stitch. If I had it to do over again, I would still choose the gray. They had it on a green, which I did not care for. So I really liked the gray, but I probably would have changed this one it's almost a lavender owl flying away, and you have the same one in this corner, and they don't show real well, especially on the camera. Yeah, I mean, they show, but you know, when the further back you get. So I think I would have changed some colors in there. I probably would have just made him a brown owl of some sort. And then right here where that color kind of repeats, and it repeats in the trees down here. So I would highly recommend the Ada itself if you're doing it on 14 count. But I would change those little lavender owls. I think lavender's an odd color to make them anyway, so I don't know what. Actually, I'd probably keep these. Those are a different shade of lavender. But I don't know why I just let them be that color. I was just sticking with it. So this is 100 owls. This is a free pattern at Owl Forest Embroidery. So if you love the 100 owls, yeah, she is in all her glory. She is so beautiful. And he does a magnificent job on framing, and his prices are unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. So if you need something stitched, or sorry, framed, and you're in the Fort Wayne area, I'm like an hour and a half from there, but I would totally drive up there any day of the week to have him frame something of mine. I think he also takes mail in too. If you want to pay for shipping, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, he is closing his shop. So as soon as he can find a buyer, he's just, he's aged out, let's say that. He has an ill wife, and it's becoming a lot trying to take care of her and do the shop, and it's time, he says. So it's time he retires. But he's had a good run, and I wish them all the best of luck. I am sorry to see them go. And until next time, bye-bye.